So, Square just released both Bitcoin conversions and Bitcoin acceptance in Square payment terminals. So I think, and there'll be like the sticker, the decals that merchants show, like Visa and Cash App and Apple Pay and stuff like that. Like,
oh, cool. Like a Bitcoin sticker.
It'll be like a Bitcoin sticker, right?
That's
so
dope.
I think the power of that is, regardless of how many people are actually doing Bitcoin payments,
it normalizes it.
It normalizes it.
Yeah.
Because you just go to your local store, you go to a store or whatever, and then you see the Bitcoin symbol. It's like, oh, I'm not using it, but it must be being used because it shows the sticker there.
Right.
People must be using Bitcoin, right? So I think that will help change perception, just almost independent of reality, and could actually be a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I like it.
So that's one angle, but yeah, Square had a big event this week. I think they're doing this like every 6 months now, where just to demonstrate to the world that like
they're shipping. It's impressive.
Square's shipping, right?
Yeah.
And maybe after a few years of not shipping or not at the velocity desired, and I think that's that the Square is changing that, which is great.
It's cool,
including Bitcoin stuff I care about.
Yeah.
So conversions is a feature that's been available to a select number of merchants for quite a while now. It just simply allows the merchant to take a percentage of their sales and put it in Bitcoin. Percentage of any sale. Like, so most of their sales, or obviously historically all their sales have been in fiat. And if they just want to tuck away 1% or 10% or whatever into Bitcoin, they just like select that, dial it in on their UI, and then they're a treasury company, right?
I like that. Right.
And so that's available now, GA available to all merchants, which is really cool. That seems like a super pragmatic step for a seller, right? Like if a seller's been orange pilled or interested in using Bitcoin as a savings vehicle, it's a dead simple UI that they can use to achieve that. And then the other big feature is that Square will accept Bitcoin, and that'll become available 100% on November 10th. So
for everyone,
it will be available for everyone.
Wow.
It's
meaning any merchant
it's
can
opt-in.
Enable
the merchant does have to opt. The merchant has to opt in.
And I saw in the announcement, I don't know the details, but it looks like no processing fees for a year. Is that true?
Yeah, for over a year, because like through the end of 2026.
That's pretty big deal.
It's pretty compelling, right?
Pretty shocking, actually. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, let's kickstart adoption, right?
Yeah.
Let's give merchants reasons to use it and merchants reasons to promote it to consumers to kickstart that cycle. So one thing I'm excited about is here in the Presidio, Alex and Haley and I have been chatting about like how can we get Presidio merchants to start accepting Bitcoin,
awesome.
right?
Yeah. The food trucks.
Because I feel like if we can't make it work here, how's anywhere else going to make it work? We have a prime situation here where we have Presidio Bitcoin.
Everyone has Bitcoin to use.
24 plus members and growing,
right?
Who are here like many times per week. We have hundreds and hundreds of global visitors flowing through here annually.
I love it.
All Bitcoiners, high intention, like the kind of people who would go out of their way to go to a merchant and pay in Bitcoin. They might even start rock climbing if they can pay in Bitcoin, right? So whether it's food or a workout or service, right? So, so we're gonna work on the merchants here and try to sell them on whether they use Square or another solution, like however they need to enable it, be able to accept Bitcoin.
I love it.
And obviously, ones that have Square already, it'll be trivial to enable.
Dude, that's a great idea.
Like Bitcoin Jungle, Bitcoin Beach, Bitcoin Park,
Bitcoin
Arnhem.
Bitcoin Presidio. Well, I gotta come up with a good name. I would love to extend that. Once we get a little bit of like traction in the Presidio, we should get the Dolphin Club to accept Bitcoin as well. Because Lord knows I'm bringing enough Bitcoin people over there.
Yeah.
Trying to take as many meetings in the sauna as possible. So.
For sure. We can extend our reach beyond the borders of the federal land here in the Presidio.
It's still federal land or city land, actually. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, that's just like a fun little project. I think Square sales folks are going to help us as well. So
that's awesome.
We'll bring in the pros. But I think, it'll be fun. We'll learn a lot talking to merchants and see what the experiences are. And it'll be great to have, it'll be like it's actually a win for Presidio Bitcoin, I think, because it's just another cool reason to visit Presidio Bitcoin, because you just walk and go grab lunch and pay in Bitcoin.
Have you talked to anybody yet?
Only so far, only Cafe RX.
I was gonna say because that seems like
That's where
indie
everyone-
enough that they could kind of make their own call.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
lady there's she's super nice.
Yeah.
She's super nice.
Super
She
nice.
directed me to the owner, and that's where we're at right
Oh,
now.
this is awesome. Yeah.
So it looked
Great idea.
Yeah. So I think that's
And
exciting.
they use Square.
Yeah, they're Square
They
terminal.
use Square.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it should be
so
super
easy
easy.
to flip it on.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. Good work.
All right. Well, it's an idea.
Yeah.
In progress.
What about the stickers? Is Square going to make them, or like maybe this is actually more Spiral because it's kind of like not Square specific, but the open source.
I
Bitcoin
suspect
here.
Square will be,
Yeah.
and then Spiral's thinking of creative marketing ideas that aren't necessarily for Square, but
Yeah.
just more generally for anyone in Bitcoin.
Well, that's what I mean. Because like then if you have just like just Bitcoin, except here, no mention of Square, you could use it for Square, or if someone wants to use BTC Pay Server.
Yeah, Haley is working on like a
Good
merchant
design.
guide for Bitcoin.
Dude, this is awesome.
It's awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
I wasn't even expecting this. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great. So anything final notes on the Square release, or can we pop over to?
One idea I wanted to just mention while we're thinking about this, it would be really cool if there was a way for Cash App users to orange pill the merchant too. I don't know what that would look like, but some kind of incentive where it's like, okay, I already get buy on Cash App. If I get this merchant on, I get some kind of a sweetener too.
Right. I'm not as familiar with this new product announced, but did you see the neighborhoods?
Yeah, I didn't read the details, but I was thinking something along.
So it's it's marketing local businesses to Cash App customers. So if it's successful, it'll help the little guy. It'll help the small merchants.
Cool.
But I haven't used it yet, so I can't really comment on the user experience. But I can imagine
A Bitcoin tab.
I can imagine. Yeah,
The neighborhoods thing is not
I can
Bitcoin
imagine
specific,
we doing
right?
that in.
The neighborhoods thing is not Bitcoin
Correct.
specific.
Yeah, but you
It's
can
just-
imagine integrations.
Yeah, and you could say,
Yeah.
like there's like these open maps where you can find people that accept Bitcoin. Like Albi has that in theirs. That would be super
Yeah,
cool.
BTC map.
BTC
Yeah.
map, exactly. And they can even maybe integrate the same open source. That's awesome. I had one other crazy idea around this. Maybe it'll come to me later, but that's cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Nice.
And just to clarify, I think the understanding here is if a merchant is accepting Bitcoin and the customer is using Cash App, then it's never touching like the traditional fiat rails, right?
I mean, if the customer's
Either way.
using any Bitcoin wallet,
Yeah, that's the cool part.
they could use a Cashew wallet, a
Sure,
Fedimint
yeah.
wallet, Arc, Spark, whatever, right?
But meaning in a sense it changes the layer around which these transactions happen. It sort of removes one of the big toll booths on payment.
Thus, that's how Block can offer 0 fees for a year and change.
Mhm.
And I don't know what the fees will be after that, but I doubt they're going to be 3%.
It's at 1%. In the
Oh,
press release.
did they say 1%?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that's like kind of a big deal because I think for the history of Square, it's always kind of been tied to the rails of Visa.
Well, not entirely, because you do, if you were a Cash App user, you could do Cash App pay at Square.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they gave you a discount, but that was just like an internal ledger. I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long has that been around? Is that
2 years, 3 years?
Okay.
Years.
Yeah.
That exists. But like Cash App card, which has like something like 25 or 30 million customers, like it's very popular.
Yeah.
That still goes over Visa network.
Oh, okay. I remember my crazy idea. Now, this might be less appealing in the United States. I think this has huge potential internationally. And maybe it will be Square one day as they go internationally, or maybe this will be, frankly, even better as a local open source thing. Maybe it could work in the US. But one idea that actually, you remember when I was working with my homie Pablo, when we first met and we're like giving away Bitcoin to people in Mexico, which, by the way, it was $3,000 back then. So I hope folks held on to all that. It's kind of crazy that all happened. We got Coinbase's non-profitable people to give us a Bitcoin to give away, which, at least they did something for Bitcoin. Anyways, what would be really cool is to see, imagine in this map. So you have a map where you can spend Bitcoin, but you can even go a step further and basically turn every merchant that accepts Bitcoin into a local Bitcoins dealer. Now, this could get a little dangerous because if you have a lot of cash and like maybe it makes you a threat for robbery or whatever, but like just like imagine like you're like a corner store in Mexico and now your side hustle in addition to accepting Bitcoin payments is, oh yeah, I can just like market make like cash Bitcoin, take a 2% fee or whatever it is. That gets wild and crazy, because then you can have like a massive explosion of peer-to-peer trading, which, you know, has a few benefits.
Yep. Yeah, you can imagine point of sale systems becoming like ATMs. Right?
Exactly.
Yep.
Turning everyone into a dealer.
Yep.
Crazy. Bitcoin dealer.
Como quieres, güey. Como quieres.